Hey guys, Freddy here. I was just eating my Valentine's Day lunch with my Valentine's date, me. There is no one else. But while you're here, seeing as Valentine's Day is upon us, I just wanted to tell you guys about something that has plagued most of us for decades, maybe even millennia. I don't know. What am I talking about? Only girl in the world syndrome, or only guy in the world syndrome if you're a lady. Now, what do I mean when I say only girl in the world syndrome? Basically, when you have a small circle of people you interact with, like let's say you go to a small church, work at a small business, go to a small school, you're only around just a handful of people. And guarantee one of them's probably the opposite gender. Pretty much no matter what, you're going to catch feelings. Sorry, hate to be that guy, but either you or she will start to catch feelings. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's how it works. Now, why does this happen? Well, basically, if you're desperate enough or lonely enough and you're wanting somebody in your life, pretty much the thing you want to do normally is just pick from the closest people around. And if you've got a small circle, well, there you have it. Problem is, not always that great of an idea. Like your only coworker who is around your age could very well be the opposite of you. And you could still catch feelings. They could vote differently from you. They could have vastly different values, vastly different morals, even. Shoot, there might even be an age gap there. But you're not going to care because that's the only girl in your world, or only guy in your world. And yeah, it's frustrating. And it doesn't have to be you who could feel these things. Your coworkers might try to get you two together just because they are suffering from secondary only girl in the world syndrome. For example, from when I was 16 up until I was 26. 10 years. Okay. 10 years. I went to a small church. Small ish church. And basically, there were a few guys my age, but there was really only one lady who was my age. Notice I didn't say girl. Why is this? 7-year age gap. Did not stop people from shipping us. Why? Simple. I was the only boy my age in church. After a while, all of them grew up and left except for me. And she was the only girl anywhere near my age. So everybody thought, oh, them two ought to get together. Bad idea. She voted differently from me, had different interests from me, had. I mean, nowadays she's got even different morals from me. She's not even a Christian, turns out. Yeah, did not stop people from shipping us or assuming we were together already. I mean, shoot, when I became a pastor, some people were asking, "Oh, are those two going to break up?" No, because there was never a thing in the first place. Makes me mad whenever that happens. And whenever I suffer from it myself, it's always frustrating. How do you avoid only girl in the world syndrome or only guy in the world syndrome? Well, I think the first thing to do would be raise awareness of it, which is what I'm doing right now. There is such a thing as only girl in the world syndrome or only guy in the world syndrome. So, knowing about it is going to prevent you from catching feelings. Or at least it's going to prevent you from actually thinking those feelings are genuine when you catch them. Granted, could it work? Yeah. 9 times out of 100, perhaps. But nah, not all the time. And if someone ships you and the only girl in the world, you just tell them you're suffering from only girl in the world syndrome. Secondary only girl in the world syndrome. Now, how else? Raising awareness? How else? Well, secondly, you just gotta be on your guard. Make sure that you establish proper boundaries. If it's a work environment, obviously there are going to be boundaries in place already. Not going to be able to start anything without talking to HR, asking their permission. If you're going, now if it's a church, well, churches, there's always the whole, Billy Graham rule about don't be in the same room as the opposite gender. So that's easy. But even so, especially if it's like your circle of friends and there's like one person of the opposite gender hanging around, set those boundaries. Make sure that you don't talk to them without someone actually listening to you two talk. Make sure that when you call them on the phone, you don't like say stuff that might trigger their feelings for you as well. So set those boundaries. And I mean, this is like a last ditch option, but if you are suffering from only girl in the world syndrome, if you are suffering from only guy in the world syndrome, wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe get into a relationship with someone outside your circle. That way, people will stop shipping you with the only girl in the world. And that way, you won't be catching feelings for the only girl in the world. So, last ditch effort. Might not even work, but it's worth a shot. Or, if you don't want to do that, and I totally understand if you don't, I mean, treating myself to Valentine's Day lunch after all. But if you don't want to do that, throw yourself into your hobbies. Throw yourself into working out, writing books, throw yourself into studying your Bible more. Throw yourself into your hobbies. And when you do talk to the only girl in the world, talk about your hobbies. That way, if there's a chance of the other person falling into only girl in the world syndrome, that person's going to get real bored real fast. And they're not going to like you like that. Because they're going to say, oh no, here comes Freddie talking about his hobbies. Oh no. it comes so and so talking about their cats. My goodness, I can't stand another cat story. I actually like cats, but. So, throw yourself into your hobbies. Talk about your hobbies with the only girl in the world, and you'll be golden. You'll be focusing on you rather than what you could have. So, yeah, be wary because it'll sneak up on you. Even if you do set all the right boundaries, even if you do, throw yourself in your hobbies or your work, even if you do um, everything I've suggested, raise awareness, tell other people about it, even if you consciously mind that there's a giant age gap between you two, it's not foolproof. You very well could still fall under only girl in the world syndrome. But you just got to be conscious that that's what it is. Maybe it's your soulmate. I don't know. It's only one way to find out, and that is to actually shoot your shot. But if you consciously know that you are falling under only girl in the world syndrome, you fight. You fight your thoughts and your feelings with everything you've got. And you make very sure that your feelings and your heart know exactly who the boss is. Because everyone's always like, follow your heart this, follow your heart that, follow your heart, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I firmly believe that your heart is full of wickedness and selfishness, and it'll lead you astray really quick. So do not listen to your heart, listen to your head. If the only girl in the world is way too different from you, fight. If it means taking another job, fine. If it means going to another church, fine. If it means, taking on an extended hiatus so that the only girl in the world is out of sight and out of mind, fine. Desperate times call for desperate measures. But just making sure you're aware. Because if you do follow your heart, if you do let only girl in the world syndrome take control of you, guarantee you're going to regret it. And don't do anything that you'll regret.